that was the last time the United States was invaded by a foreign enemy. We were invaded because the creditors said, no, you didn't.
We have title. You
haven't paid your debt. You can't just up and leave. You can't take away our security. And the Federal Reserve is where the foreign creditors hold their security. Okay? So you crash the Federal Reserve. Go ahead. If you want the Chinese army, which is the Chinese army is bigger than our entire population. Okay? Just to let you know. And right now, they're our major creditor. We default, we get rid of the Federal Reserve, they'll invade. Plain and simple.
What's that?
What's that?
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting. I think it was last year, I attended a Winston Shrout seminar, and he was talking about how the Department of Homeland Security is where they now hold the debt of the United States. Okay? And then I thought, just the other day it occurred to me, I go, isn't that an interesting name? The Department of Homeland Security. Okay? Security doesn't always mean what you think it means. And I bet you they're talking about the financial kind of security. Okay? Yeah. Okay. So we touched on endorse here. I wanted to read you the definitions of endorse. So you get an idea of what you're doing and what an endorsement is, and the powerful difference between an endorsement and an endorsement. We already talked about how EN is Latin for behold, no authority. It's like I endorse a product. I endorse these pens. They're great. Okay? Whereas I endorse a check, what am I doing? Endorsement. The placing of a signature, sometimes with an additional notation on the back of a negotiable instrument to transfer or guarantee the instrument or to acknowledge payment. Or to acknowledge payment. Endorse can also be used as a verb. To sign a negotiable instrument, usually on the back, either to accept responsibility for paying an obligation memorialized by the instrument, or to make the instrument payable to someone other than the payee. Isn't it typically the payee who endorses the back of an instrument? Okay. I wonder who endorsed the back of the Constitution. Something really interesting I saw this weekend. Using these two forms alone, you can actually get your note back on your house and all the funds back. There were several people there with the actual notes from their house, the original notes. Flip them over, and I kid you not, an endorsement by the CFO of the bank monetizing your note, showing that the note itself is a deposit instrument just like a check. Endorsed. Endorsed. And it actually, I wish I had written it down because it was a special endorsement. It wasn't a general endorsement. It wasn't just his signature. Okay, we're about to go through the different types of endorsements. And next time one of you gets your note, let me know, and I want to get that language. Actually, I should be getting several of them back with these tests that they're sending out. So I'll let you know. I love this little comment here. The clever endorser can subscribe his or her name under a variety, and I kid you not, of magic phrases. Okay? This is out of Black's Law Dictionary.
What's that?
Endorse.
Yep.
The clever endorser can subscribe his or her name under a variety of magic phrases. The code, capital C, specifies the legal effect of some of these phrases. qualified endorsements, which I believe is what was on the back of the notes, is a qualified endorsement. Like without recourse. Have we talked about that, without recourse? Qualified endorsements without recourse limit the liability of the endorser if the instrument is dishonored. Okay? Qualified endorsements limit the liability of the endorser if the instrument is dishonored. Okay? Restrictive endorsements such as for deposit only, pay any bank, and the like, set the terms for further negotiation of the instrument. Did you know you could endorse an instrument with pay to the order of? And then the only person that can endorse that instrument after you is the person you place after pay to the order of. You could put that in your endorsement. Brandon Adams, signature, pay to the order of. Jim Smith. And now Jim Smith is the only one who can endorse this instrument further. So if I were to take that, Brandon Adams, pay to the order of Jim Smith, and I took the bank and tried to deposit it, you think they would take it? No. They go, you're going to have to get Jim Smith to sign this. Yeah. Okay. And that's the reason I wish Mark was here, because Mark had a story about how he used to write some kind of restrictive endorsement on the back of his checks, and I think the bank ended up closing down his accounts and stuff because he was writing something on there that was basically restricting their capacity to get any money out of it. Basically, he was claiming the funds, saying, no, those are my funds. Now, aren't they your funds anyways? I mean, isn't that what turns into money in your account? Well, that's what you think, right? So why would a restrictive endorsement affect the bank? Why would they care? If it's my money anyways. Yeah. Because they're going to monetize it beyond what you've done with it. Yeah. Who knows how many signatures are going to end up on it? Can we get a microphone back?
Was it all rights reserved without prejudice?
Yeah, I think it was something like that. Yeah. It was something.
I have my little sticker on it too.
Yeah, some kind of restrictive endorsement. Where it wasn't just his signature. He had some phrase on there that limited the bank's capacity to negotiate that instrument any further. Okay? All right. Here are some other types of endorsements. Magical endorsements. Actually, there's what's called a blank endorsement, or a general endorsement, which is just a signature. No restrictions. If the instrument is payable to John Smith, the endorsement in blank is his simple signature without additional words, i.e. John Smith. It specifies no particular endorsee, and thereafter is payable to bearer and may be negotiated by delivery alone. It is a common form of endorsement, but if the instrument is lost or stolen, it may be more easily negotiated by the finder or thief to a holder in due course. The latter, as such, then having superior rights is against the original owner. The holder may convert an endorsement in blank into a special endorsement. You think maybe that's what the banks are doing? They take your general blank endorsement and convert it into a special endorsement. I'm pretty sure every time I take a check in, they put about 3 or 4 stamps on it before it even goes anywhere else. They're like flip it over. And then when you get it back, when you get your check back, they have stamps on the backs of them. Okay. An endorsement in blank is an unqualified endorsement, and thus the endorser thereof makes all the warranties to all subsequent holders in due course specified in Section 3-417 Uniform Commercial Code. Special endorsement. Special endorsement, also known as direct endorsement and endorsement in full. This endorsement specifies the person to whom or to whose order the instrument is payable, and the endorsement of such endorsee is necessary to further negotiation of the instrument. So that's an example of that is pay the order of John Smith. A special endorsement is an unqualified endorsement, and the endorser thereof makes all the warranties. I already read that, didn't I? Okay. Conditional endorsement. This is a form of endorsement in which the endorser imposes some condition upon the transferee. For example, pay Adam Smith upon the satisfactory performance of his contract. Signed, Jane White. Can you imagine putting that on the back of a bank check? Like, pay the order of the bank, condition upon they give me $1 million or something like that.
Right? Yeah,
I have a feeling they're not going to negotiate that one for you. We don't accept.
It is.
Whether the condition has been fulfilled or not. But any person to whom an instrument so endorsed is negotiated will hold the same, or the proceeds thereof, subject to the rights of the person endorsing conditionally. The conditional endorsement is an unqualified endorsement dependent upon the condition's fulfillment, and the endorser thereof thus makes all warranties. If the condition is fulfilled, specified in Section 3-417 Uniform Commercial Code. Qualified endorsements are two types and constitute endorser a mere assigner of title of the instrument. Say that again. Qualified endorsements are of two types and constitute the endorser a mere assigner of title to the instrument.
So in my business, I get a pretty large deposit up front for my service. So I could see if someone was going to pay, the equivalent of a small car to get this service done, and I somehow disappeared, they would want that they could conditionally make that deposit or check payable to me as long as the services were performed.
Yeah,
Same thing, right?
Yeah, you could write a bill of exchange or something of that nature, which would have some kind of condition upon it. Yeah.
Well, we have a contract, but
it's another word for that could be a non-negotiable instrument. Have you ever seen a bill of exchange, a non-negotiable bill of exchange? There's set terms. This can only be negotiated in this manner, in this way, at this time, in this place. Okay? So you can put restrictions on your negotiable instruments. There's nothing that says you can't. If you guys go into negotiable instrument law, you come to find out every piece of paper you're holding here with writing can be a negotiable instrument. Okay? By the mere fact that it's got writing on it. Yeah, watch out if you write an amount on there. Okay. So far I think all we've discussed are unqualified endorsement, right? Okay. Qualified endorsement. Qualified endorsement without recourse or similar wording. The qualified endorsement does not destroy the negotiability of the instrument. The without recourse endorser makes the limited warranties found in Section 3-417 Uniform Commercial Code. A qualified endorsement is one directing it to be paid to a specific person or to be otherwise restricted, such as the indication of for deposit only. If no qualifying language accompanies the signature, it is called a blank endorsement and payable to the holder. So, is this actually discussed without recourse? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Without recourse. If I were to write without recourse below my signature, what would that do to the nature of the instrument? Would it change the negotiability of the instrument? No. Would it change my liability on the instrument? Yes. Okay. So, by putting a without recourse below your signature line, you're now saying, I ain't liable. For wherever it goes from here, I'm not liable. restrictive endorsement. A restrictive endorsement is a blank or special endorsement accompanied by words which either one, prohibit